Welcome to my room. Today, makeup done, nails done, hair slicked back, diva activated. Why diva activated? Because today we will be talking about the new movie, semi-new movie, Obsession. I am obsessed with this movie. It is so good, and let's run down some of the reasons why it is so good. First of all, it's a little wacky, cuckoo, crazy, okay? I did not expect this movie to be what it was when I entered the cinema. I genuinely expected nothing. Why? Because I was on a date. Ironic that I was on a date watching this movie. The date did not turn out well, hence why I am still single. But I still enjoyed the movie. And it was very entertaining to be watching this with a guy who kept on looking over his shoulder telling me, "That's you," when we have only been seeing each other for 2 weeks. Anyways, let's proceed from that. Another reason why I really enjoyed this movie was I generally was not expecting for it to be good. I feel like that is the way people should go and watch movies, not expecting anything, because I feel like you enjoy it a lot more. I hadn't even heard of this movie before we went to go see it. We just said like, oh, let's go to the movies, let's pick whatever movies, like whatever movie's available, and let's watch it. Obsession was available. Let's say, it was a horror movie. I'm not really interested in the horror genre, neither was him, but we were like, you know what? That's the only thing we could watch, let's just watch it. I wasn't expecting absolute cinema. I wasn't expecting me to stop eating my popcorn, put my popcorn down, let my big back rest for a moment to enjoy this movie because it was that good. I didn't even finish my popcorn. That woman in the theaters, I did not know who she was because in any other movie, that popcorn would have been gone. But this movie was so good. And I was very thoroughly impressed by everything. The acting of Nikki, oh my god, that actress. So good, so good. Genuinely convinced me she was crazy and I loved it. Also, I think this movie kind of helps you appreciate the fact that when actors are actually good actors, they won't be getting all that work done, because the fact that she was just able to make facial expressions just draws you into the movie and makes it more believable. Because in real life, when you're angry, your face looks angry. When you're sad, you look sad. When you're happy, you look happy. Obviously, right? But all these actors in Hollywood nowadays, they have so much Botox, so much work done, to the point where I don't know what you're feeling. You're telling me that you're sad. The script is telling you that you're sad. Yo, I don't see it. I don't see it. Let me put on my glasses because I don't see no emotion on your face, and you clearly don't see it either. Stop it with the Botox. This is your job. Imagine going into a job as a doctor, as a surgeon, and they're like, you must prepare this surgery, and you're like, I can't. I just got my nails done. You would be fired. Why are they not firing these people in Hollywood? It genuinely pisses me off that you are an actor and you cannot act. What is your job then? What is your job? At this point, just be an influencer. Just be an influencer. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with being an influencer, but stop pretending like you can act and that you're good at acting. Another thing that I really enjoyed about this movie is just how Bear becomes so detestable. Because at first you kind of feel bad for the guy, you know, it's like, oh, his life isn't really going how he planned, you know, his cat just passed away. You know, he really likes this girl, he doesn't know how to tell her. You know, you kind of sympathize with him, you're kind of like, I see myself in you. I've also been through hard times. I see myself, Bear. But as the movie goes on, you're like, damn, he really a piece of shit. He really a bad person. The more the movie goes on, the more I genuinely just was like, someone shoot this man. Someone shoot this man. The moment, I feel like a lot of people are talking about the moment where Nikki is asleep, begging him, please help her. And he's like, why don't you like me, bitch? But I honestly, the moment where I knew he was a bad person, genuinely unredeemable, was when he was making the phone call, you know, to customer service. And they were like, oh, do you want to undo the wish? And he was like, no. I just want to modify it a little bit. I just don't want her to be this crazy. Which at that point, I was like, come on, dude. I know you like her, but with everything going on at this point, maybe it's not meant to, maybe we should go our both ways. You know, like, love isn't that necessary. I am okay being alone. But this man was like, listen, I still don't want her to have autonomy. I still don't care if she actually loves me. I just don't want her to be crazy and embarrassing me in front of everyone. Okay. I genuinely started hating him from that moment onwards. And the more the movie progressed, the more I disliked him. There are so many people that I heard like a couple of guys in the movie theaters, but I've been hearing more of this online. People don't think that Bear is the villain. They actually feel bad for Bear. And it's like, how are you gonna feel bad for him? You could have felt bad for him like the first 20 minutes of the movie. Okay, I get that. But did we not watch the same movie? Like, did we not see all the things that happened and all the things that he did and all the things he was like, that's okay, that's okay. Like, Kinchana girl, Kinchana, it's fine. And he was still there like, if she just wasn't this crazy, I don't care if she actually likes me. It's like, come on, dude. It's crazy to think that in the eyes of a lot of men, Bear is a victim of all of this that was going on. He's a victim of Nikki. No, Nikki is a victim of Bear. And I know that has been a big topic online, kind of discussing who the real enemy was in this movie and who the true victims were. We can all agree that Nikki's a victim. If you do not agree with that, I don't know what's wrong with you. It's very obvious through most of her actions when she snapped back to being herself that she was genuinely asking for help. Like, this is not me, guys. Like, she was asking for people to help her. Yet the people that didn't know what was going on, obviously, just thought that she was maybe having like a mental breakdown or something. But Bear, fully knowing what he did, fully knowing what is going on with her, and hearing her scream through the phone when he was calling customer service, is like, she really does love me. Okay, Bear, stop it, okay? And I know that a lot of people try to defend him, giving the argument of like, oh, he didn't know it was gonna go up to this extent. You could have always done something. You could have explained to people what was going on, but instead he decided to stay silent because he knew that if he was truthful to people about what he did, the way that people would see him as the villain that he is. And I feel like that speaks a lot. Kind of maneuver things, kind of keep something hush hush quiet and not really telling the full truth, giving this version of the story where they themselves aren't fully being honest and aren't giving all of the factual information. That was very deliberate. That's also why this movie is so scary, because a lot of girls have gone through this. I know that I at least have gone through this. I thought this guy was my friend, and then later on he kind of confessed his feelings. This moment of, I don't want this to be awkward. I also don't want to hurt your feelings because I have seen you as this friend for such a long time. Now you just made things awkward. And I don't know from what point in our friendship did you think I was also interested in you in a romantic way and not just in a friendship way. So every time I hear the discussion of Nikki have actually had feelings for Bear, I don't think she would have. One of the moments that I know she didn't was when she was reading out Hansel and Gretel, because if you actually hear the story she was reading out, it's of incest, and she very well knew it's of incest. That's a moment where the real Nikki came out for a moment and started writing that story. The story is supposed to be portrayed in a scary way, in a creepy way, and that's how she was feeling. She said that she saw Bear as like a brother. So to her, this is almost like incest. One of the things I didn't really understand much was Nikki's obsession with Bear's cat. Was she taking him out of the trash, making a shrine for him? Why did she feed it to Bear? I still really don't get that. I know there's been some conspiracies online that possessed Nikki didn't really comprehend that this was something wrong, or that this was actual Nikki snapping out of it and doing this as like a form of revenge. Both of those explanations don't really sit well with me. Why does she do this? Another thing that I kind of want to talk about was the discussion that we're having in the car, where Nikki brought up the distinction between a love movie or a love book versus like a romance book, and Bear asked her, oh, what's the difference? And she just paused, and we never really get the explanation. We never really get what the difference was, but it kind of is very telling. There are two different views on love and what they're both expecting out of love and out of a relationship and out of their partners. Bear is expecting more of this romance that we kind of get a whole montage of, where things were kind of going well and they're like watching movies, they're constantly making out, they're making breakfast together, they're cooking together. I think that's the version of love that Bear wants, or that's the romance he expects. Meanwhile, Nikki, she wants love. She wants someone to appreciate her for who she is and not for this person she will pretend to be. She wants someone who sees her, who wants to be with her, someone that accepts her flaws, someone that puts up with everything she does. Like, she wants love, but Bear cannot comprehend that. All of this going on, everything Bear did, and then at the end he still wanted to cheat. He still went out there with Sarah, was perfectly prepared to kiss her. Now, I'm not blaming Sarah for this, even though I kind of am. You knew they were in a relationship. Even if you thought things were weird, I still don't think it's acceptable. But I do consider Sarah a victim of everything going on, obviously, because listen, even if you were going to kiss one of your friend's boyfriend, I don't think you deserve that ending. Yeah, it's bad, but it's not that bad. No one deserves that. Okay, I genuinely can't imagine anyone deserving what happened to Sarah and the way she was outed from this movie. This man got like everything he wanted. Maybe not in the way he expected, but your wish came true, dude. You were still like, let me go kiss this other girl that also, she likes me, and I was damn well aware that she liked me before I did all of this. I was still like, you know what? Let me go for Nikki. Mr. Sir. But yeah, this was a really good movie. I know people are kind of correlating Bear's name to the whole thing of, would you take the man or the bear? Like, what would you prefer to find in the forest, a man or a bear? I think the directors came out and said that it was just a coincidence, which I do kind of agree with. I don't really think that narrative kind of fits into the story, so it would be kind of weird if they took inspiration from that to name Bear. Hated Ian. Honestly, hated that man. Couldn't stand him from the beginning. Why you're giving your friend, I don't even think he liked Bear. I don't even think Ian was Bear's friend. Why were you giving your friend such terrible advice? Like, it was very clear from the beginning he wanted to sabotage Bear. Even before finding out that him and Nikki were hooking up on the side and like there was something going on between them, I knew damn well from the beginning this man is sabotaging Bear. I didn't know why. The advice he was giving Bear was so bad. So bad. I was like, there's no way. There's no way. If these are the friends I could have, I wish to have no friends. And then Bear came to you and was like, please help. Bear was desperate and you were like, $1 billion. Oh, hell no. You know what? Let's fight this out, bitch. Let's fight this out, okay? I hated Ian. Detested. You know what? Ian's the bigger villain than Bear. If he would have just been honest with Bear, been like, hey, I know you like Nikki, but me and her have been hooking up on the side. I'm sorry, dude, but you know, like, I like her too or whatever. Like, we could have avoided all of this. Ian wanted to be all mysterious and like, maybe you should ask her. Ian wanted to be a backstabbing ass man. And look at what happened. He got what he deserved. I'm sorry. Sarah was a victim. Everyone was innocent. Ian, you got what you deserve. And that is my conclusion to this movie. Ian, everyone else, I'm sorry. Miyane, saranghae, arigato. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, I will be posting tomorrow. I am jobless. Clearly. Thank you so much.